don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh, man. I started yawning right as it was like my time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is, whoa, there we go. Let there be light. This is the 467th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Welcome to the program. It is Catherine Callahan's birthday, and to that, what I got her for her birthday was not being on the show tonight. Wonderful. We all get a present for her birthday. Happy birthday, everyone. So yeah, that's Catherine's birthday. I don't know if she's in the comments or will be in the comments. If you see her, you might want to say something. Even if you don't see her, you might want to say happy birthday in the comments. Maybe she'll get on later and see it. So that's up to you. It is what it is. It is what it is. Totally whatever you want to do. Just depends on how you feel about Koreans. It is what it is. Okay. I did talk to her a couple times today. My grandmother texted her, happy birthday, loudmouth. No, not really. Here's what happened. We found out it was Catherine's birthday today, and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know that. I didn't know today was Catherine's birthday. So I sent her a nice little happy birthday message, and my grandmother said, well, I would like to send her something. And I was like, okay. So I was like, well, here, I'll help you, because she's not the best with her phone. So she gave me her phone, and I text Catherine from my grandmother's phone, happy birthday, loudmouth, and just sent it to her. And then I put, this is from Herb and Pauline, Chris's grandparents. And so she was a good sport, but I then later told her it was me. So it is what it is. But wish Catherine a happy birthday wherever she is out in the world doing. Oh, look there. Toxic Crew Elite Force. Hey. So I am going to say that there's a big group of us that are in the on this side of defeating Sproles, Sheriff Sproles, through either lawsuits or threat of lawsuits. And I have won my suit against him. Judge ruled in our favor. He had to unblock us and stop violating my First Amendment rights. So I don't know that you've ever, hey, me too. Look at this. That's what's hilarious. So I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back. Kate, we gotta find the video of Sproles where Sproles is literally saying, oh, these lawsuits are all frivolous. Everybody can have their day in court. I'm going to have my day in court too. And I will be found victorious in all of these. These are all just frivolous lawsuits. Because if my calculation is correct, so far, I don't believe that he has won a single lawsuit. So they have not went to actual court on anything that he's actually won in a court of law. That's number one to say. Number two, I don't believe that he has in the suit they've settled out of court in anything that would be in his favor. So those are two things. And three, of the tort claims that have been filed against him, and I don't know exactly who or what that was, but there are a couple of those, and they have even went as far as settling those out of court. So I don't believe that Sproles has actually came out the victor in any of these suits that have actually been filed against him, been threatened to be filed against him, or that they have figured out otherwise in court. So I think that's rather interesting. So we'll have to put that package together and figure that out here in the next couple coming days or weeks or whatever. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Political Spotlight. We got listen. So everybody's going to gripe tonight. I just about canceled the show. I have zero to talk about. And that's not really true. I have like 4 or 5 different things that we could talk about, that we could talk on. None of them are enough to make an entire show. None of them are enough to make like 2 or 3 topics. So I almost canceled the show, but I was like, I'm just going to talk through it because, look, I could come on and talk when I don't have anything to say. So we're going to talk about some of those, maybe kind of do a free, just kind of a free for all of you that like to read the description. I know you're disappointed. The name of this episode is episode 467. I didn't have a title. There was no cutesy title. There was nothing to call it. The thumbnail was a blue background and a white episode 467. That's what it was. Sometimes I guess it's just going to be that way because that's where we are. So I promise you, you will not go away uneducated or unentertained. So if you would smash that like button, please help us out. Hit that like button and give us a little bit of help there. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything. You can do that for free. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell so you get notified when we drop content. You know that we're here for you live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday, sometimes more, every now and then a little less. But when we go live, you want to know about it. So smash that like button. If you're here watching and you want to communicate with us, as you see it goes on the bottom of the screen from time to time, that's not all the comments. That's just very far and few between comments that Kate puts up, just depending on what's going on. If you want to communicate and you want to be with all the viewers that are communicating, if you're watching live, you're going to communicate over here. And if you are in the future via replay, you're going to want to communicate down here by texting down there. So if you could do all that, that would be fantastic. That would be great. Sarge says, are you familiar with the fact that Anderson Fire Department is only running 3 ambulances? Muncie is running six or seven. First off, Muncie's not running 6 or 7 always there, and I would say they're probably closer to 5 or 6, and sometimes they're even shut down a little bit there. We're in a situation where we're needing some more people on Muncie, but I know that we're running more than Anderson. I know that Anderson's currently having a problem. Anderson firefighters are requesting they put a 4th ambulance in service. Yeah, I think they probably should do that. I can't believe they only have 3 ambulances over there. That's mind-boggling to me. That's just wild. Is there a county service over there? Like, so for example, over here in Muncie, we have a city fire EMS service that deals with the city limits of Muncie. But then we also have the Delaware County EMS, which services all of the unincorporated areas and some of the small towns. So that's what we have going on over here. But it shocks me that Anderson would have that feud. That's crazy. We had someone, hello, Carrie, somebody that requested that we talk about Hartford City, LOL, Hartford Shitty. I would have no problem talking about Hartford City. I don't really know about anything going on up there currently, and I would need people to reach out to me and to give me some information. If there's something going on, I probably would. I would love to talk about that. And if you people live in areas where you're like, hey, I'd like to watch, I'd like to hear you talk about my area, you just got to give me some information. Maybe I can start taking a look. Unfortunately, I don't know anything right offhand about what's going on up there. I don't know. I know some of the players in specifically in county government, not really city, but I could look. I have no problem looking into that. So maybe I'll take a look. You know what I need to do? Maybe in a slow time. This is not, so that's what's weird about this. This is not a slow time. This is not a slow time. We are very, very busy right now. We are just right now kind of stuck in between the go fast and go faster period, because there's a lot of things going on, but we're just waiting on like an email here or this or that. So that's what's kind of weird. But we do get times where we're in like a kind of a lull and nothing's happening for a couple of days or weeks. And when that happens, what I need to do is I probably need to write down everything basically in central and east central Indiana, from maybe like, I was going to say all of District 5, but that's not really true. So like maybe most of District 5, the top northeastern portion of District 6, and the very bottom portion of District 3, and all of those counties in that area. Probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about a 9 county area probably. So I'd be talking about Richmond, Wayne County. I've started following there a little bit. I've got some personal reasons I've been following it there. My brother is down in that area. And then I've had a couple people reach out to me. So the Richmond, Wayne County area, Henry County, Newcastle, maybe Hamilton County, that would make sense. Delaware, obviously, Muncie, Delaware, Anderson, Madison County, Marion, Grant County, Hartford City, Blackford County, Portland, Jay County, like those areas, and then all of the wide spots in between the towns and whatnot. So I might do that and kind of familiarize myself with everybody. So we're going to be talking about a couple different things. So just hang tight. It's going to be kind of a loose night. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I think the Pacers are playing, so I know there's people that's concerned about that. I'm not really specifically caught up. I hope they win. I think it'd be really cool if they win. I do know they are, because they're at they're in Indianapolis. So I hope they win. Just, I kind of don't care about it. And then at the end of the game, I'm like, did they win? Did they lose? I'll tell you what, though, that game probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where they ended up scoring like 16 points in like 28 seconds or whatever happened there, with all those threes and what was going on. That was some of the most wild basketball, some of the craziest sports television of our lifetime. So that was a wild thing. Even though I'm not a sports guy, I thought that was pretty cool. Vinyl Guerrilla Records, Indianapolis has turned completely communist. Oh yeah, listen, Indianapolis is a shithole. There's just no question about it. Indianapolis is a situation where the Republican Party have vacated the city. They don't care anymore. They don't try. There's nothing going on there. It's so weird that we're in a situation where Indiana is such a super duper pooper trooper majority Republican Party, where you can't throw a rock without hitting some dumbass Republican that's not working for the people any better than anybody else. But then at the same time, there's no Republicans in the capital city. The capital city has just said, all right, we're going to give it all to the Democrats. And it's not just like the old school, regular, normal Democrats. It's like the craziest progressive Democrats in the bunch. So that's kind of a thing. And I don't know. So going back to Alva's question, Alva said, let's see where Alva said, any idea how big the protest is in Indianapolis? Well, there are some people out there protesting currently that are really close to where the Pacers are playing. But it didn't look like a crazy deal. Now, this weekend, there are going to be that No Kings protest that's going to be all over. And they are saying that they're going to make Indianapolis, or protests are going to be on social media. Whoever they are saying they're going to make this protest look like as like 2020. So that's horrible. I hope that's not the case. Well, Tweety Bird, the protest in Indy will be fine. Guards and the Marines are not coming to Indy, but you really can't say that, because the protest in 2020 were not fine. They totally vandalized downtown Indy, damaged all of the businesses and all of the buildings down along the circle. It was total insanity. And who was it? It was who the dude with the hoodie, what's his name, in Congress? I forget. Can't think of his name right off the top of my head. From Pennsylvania. Why can I not see that? Oh, there we go. Fetterman. Yeah. Fetterman, who clearly is not a known Republican, obviously. I like Fetterman came out and said that he said, my party loses the moral high ground when we refuse to condemn setting cars on fire, destroying buildings, and assaulting law enforcement. And I gotta give him credit for that. That's very, very true. I don't know. I will fight to the death. That's a hill I will die on. People's right to protest and to be heard and to speak out. No issue. And Tweety Bird, I appreciate that you might, and I'm glad that you do. I do feel like, for all of the bantering back and forth, that you are a normal human being, but there are a lot of people on your side that have not throughout this ordeal. And so that's what's, yep. You've never heard me say anything different than that. There are bad players on both sides. Yep. I say that constantly, all the time. But so we'll have to see what happens. There's gonna be a protest in Muncie this weekend. I don't look for anything to happen. It won't. It'll be fine. I don't think it'll be anywhere even. I don't think it'll be as big as the event during Spart's town hall. So I don't see anything like that happening. I think it'll be pretty smooth. I don't think it'll be crazy. So I've got some stuff about Muncie that we're going to get to here in just a moment, but I do feel it's probably important because last night we talked for quite a long time about the situation in Indianapolis, which was just absolutely atrocious. It was totally horrible and bad and just awful, the way that the council, the Indianapolis City County Council, ran the meeting, and what they did to Lauren Roberts and the couple of her supporters and other females and some of the men who were in the audience as citizens and wanted to speak there. And they threw Lauren and a couple of other people out. I feel like the sheriff's department, the deputies that were involved in that, I feel like they absolutely committed assault. They definitely committed battery. We don't have assault in the state of Indiana. Quote unquote assault is not a thing in the state of Indiana. We have battery. And I absolutely believe that those sheriff's deputies committed battery on several of those people. They were touching them, in my opinion, in a rude and insolent manner, and inappropriately. And some of them, they were touching in ways that they most certainly did not have to, and it was really wild. Well, today, absolutely today, the council president, Vop Osili, hey, can you star that Tweety Bird comment so I can come back to that I have, where she said I have a question, and I will come back to that as soon as we're done with this. Council President Vop Osili, who is the council president, he's a Democrat out of District 11. He said the following. I'm going to put this up on the screen. I'm going to read it, and I'll let you guys see this at the same time. Vop said, on Monday, the City County Council held its regularly scheduled meeting for the month of June. One of the key items under consideration was payment of the invoice to the law firm Fisher Phillips. The council engaged Fisher Phillips last year to conduct an investigation into serious allegations involving misconduct in the Hogsett administration, reviewing city-county policies regarding harassment, reporting, and investigative procedures, and offering recommendations for the council's consideration. Vop goes on to say, while I believe and practice upholding the long-standing council rules that limit public comment to 2 minutes per speaker, I regret the trauma to Miss Roberts and her supporters. An already difficult moment for a survivor was made even harder. And I want to stop this for just a second and say, remember when I told you he called her something, but I didn't know what he called her and I couldn't quite make it out? When her name's Lauren Roberts. Vop called her Lauren Boebert. He called her the name of the Republican Congresswoman, Lauren Boebert, and he called her that like a couple of times, and finally she was like, "What? My name's Lauren Roberts. I don't know what you're calling me or what that name is." I mean, obviously she must have known, but that's what he called her. He called her Lauren Boebert. What an absolute idiot. Okay, so going on here, Miss Roberts and her supporters. An already difficult moment for a survivor was made even harder. As it is my responsibility to ensure the council conducts its business with decorum and civility, I should have called a recess, created a space for calm, and shown a sensitivity in that emotionally charged moment. In that, I failed Miss Roberts, my fellow counselors, and those who attended the meeting that evening. I firmly believe, as an elected official, we must own our mistakes, take responsibility for our actions, and do better going forward. That is why I am issuing this statement today. Miss Roberts told, I don't know where I got told from, that was just in my head. Miss Roberts and Miss Ellert have shown tremendous courage. As a result, the council will be enacting meaningful changes in how the issue of harassment and misconduct is relayed, addressed, and accounted for in the future. While we did not create this problem, our members will ensure that harassment has no place in our city and county government. The proposal regarding the outstanding bill from the investigating law firm will be heard by the council's Administration and Finance Committee, and I fully support the committee chair's decision to allow Ms. Roberts and others to address the committee. I will be listening and learning. I am grateful to the members of the investigative committee for the decision and seriousness they brought to this work and the commitment they have devoted to the issues raised by Miss Roberts and Miss Ellert. It is my plan to continue moving forward more thoroughly and more openly. Okay? Now, I want to talk about this. This is weird. I'm sure that they rushed to put this out so that they could say, look, we're sorry, in hopes that this would stop any kind of legal blowback. Okay. I feel like they thought that if they rushed this out, that this would stop that. To me, all this does is make it more damning. This is like when I was arrested in Winchester for speaking in a meeting, very similar to this. I stood up in a meeting, I was speaking, the police put their hands on me, put me in handcuffs, and actually took my liberty from me, put me in jail. That next day, the police chief sent an email to the prosecutor asking him to do whatever they could do to make sure that they filed charges on the disorderly conduct that they preliminarily charged me with, because they knew that if the prosecutor filed charges, that would just insulate the police a little bit more. Well, the prosecutor ended up not filing charges. Matter of fact, not only did they not file charges, they printed that email off and put it in their file And when I got all of that taken care of, when they decided not to file charges on me a month and a half later, I was able to request that file and get that email. And when I requested the same email from the city hall, the police chief had deleted it. So I had like the smoking gun. And in my mind, that letter, it was really damning. And this letter is really damning because they are admitting we screwed up. We screwed up. Okay. That's true. That's true, Stumblefoot. Here's the deal. I do it to try to make my blood pressure, because here's what happens. I can click past like a tick, and when that tick is checked, it's like I black out and God knows what could happen. And I'm afraid that I will go crazy and do things that there's no coming back from. So it's kind of like the Incredible Hulk. You won't like me when I'm angry. And so I do everything I can do to not get that way. Because like when I am really, really angry, there is no pulling that back. I turn green. I rip my clothes off. My eyes get scary. Man, that used to freak me out. Right. Every time, the very first time that camera showed Lou Ferrigno's face as the Incredible Hulk, and he would look, and his eyes, they had those contacts in, and they had those baby blue contacts. He looked so freaking scary. That was the greatest. I used to watch that with my Uncle John, and it used to scare the living hell out of me, but I could not watch. But it was so amazing and scary all at the same time. But that's, I think, what happened. But this thing is crazy to me. This letter that he's put out here is insane. They've basically admitted they messed up, they screwed up. But the other thing, they're welcoming her. Okay, they're welcoming Roberts, who they know lives in Denver and won't be here, so it will be a hardship. And they're inviting Ellert to come and speak before the finance committee. And I want to be clear, that's great and everything, but that's not the entire council. That would be like me going to the Muncie City Council and saying, I would like to come address you guys, and them inviting me to come and speak to the Board of Works in the morning, where they're not going to be there. No one's going to listen. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and it doesn't matter. I say that he needs to go a step further. To hell with this, having them come speak at the finance committee meeting where the whole council won't be there. It'll only be a handful of them because it's a committee. Invite them to come back to the July meeting and speak for as long as they want in front of the 25-person body. That's the only thing that they can do that marches halfway to making this right. The other 50%, they can never cross because it's already happened, and it's just the genie's out of the bottle with it. But if they want to do anything that they can to try to make this right, then they have to invite them and allow them to speak in front of the full body and not be molested or otherwise impeded from speaking. I just think that that's the thing they've got to do. So that's that. And Bop Osili is an idiot. He needs to go too. He's past his time. So that's that. Another counselor also put out a response today, and I want to read this too because they did put this out. And this is Counselor Raina Allen, also a Democrat from District 15. In light of Monday night's City County Council meeting, I want to extend my heartfelt apologies to survivors and allies who feel their voices were silenced. As an elected official, I am committed to showing compassion during these crucial moments. It is essential that everyone feels heard and respected when sharing their truth. Moving forward, the City County Council is committed to implementing the recommended policies to ensure that all City of Indianapolis employees work in an environment free from harassment and discrimination. Thank you to the survivors for your courage in speaking up and for holding us accountable. Listen. This is great, but also it's too little too late. To hell with this. This does not mean anything. There were 25 council members there, and any number of them could have and should have turned their microphone on and said, "Stop," to the police in the back. And they should have said, "Unhand those people." And they should have said, "Let them come forward and speak." And instead of the audience saying, "Shame, shame, shame," the council should have said this. That's Tweety Bird. Absolutely right. Why did they not speak up in the moment? Now, to some of their scaredy cat nonsense behavior, some of them did say it later in the meeting, but again, that's after the fact. You're telling me that none of these people are fast enough on their feet that they couldn't have turned this into the political moment that it needed to be? They couldn't have, what were they afraid of getting thrown out? They're all duly elected. Vop's the president. He's got the hammer, but he's nobody to them. They should have made a point in that moment. They should have directed those law enforcement officers to unhand those people. So, thank you. This is like someone asking you, saying, "Hey, I'm running to the store to get you anything. Are you hungry?" And you're like, "Yeah, I've not ate today." And they're like, "Cool, what do you want?" And you're like, "I don't know, anything. Stop at Subway and bring me a sandwich." And they're like, "Okay." And they get back and they don't bring you food. But a couple days later, they bring you food. And it's like, well, thank you, but, I've already eaten since then. So you really didn't do anything for me. But, thank you for the sandwich later. It's like, this is just stupid. So, Rena Allen and Vop Osili, you can, George Costanza, you can stuff your sorries in a sack. How about that for you? Stuff your sorries in a sack. That's all I got to tell you. That's just that. And I'll be honest, Vop Osili's letter, in my opinion, legally hurts the city county council. I think he would have been better if he wouldn't have said anything. If he wasn't going to stop it in the moment, if say he got it started, he should never got it started. But after he got it started, it should have turned on, and he should have been like, whoa, wait a minute. I've seen Jeff Robinson do that once. I saw Jeff Robinson get heated in a council meeting and do something and act in a way that he later was like, in just a few seconds, was like, wait a minute. I did that out of heat. Let's take a beat and let's rewind and let's review what happened here and let's redo it. Now, I didn't agree with what was going on at the time, but I did watch him do it. And so I know people are capable of it. I'm capable of it. So I understand the VOP might not be able to or whatever, but you got 25 of them there. You're telling me that out of that 25, not a single one is quick enough to be like, wait a minute. And there are some Republicans in there, and they didn't say anything. The Democrats, and nobody said anything. They watched this happen. It's nuts. So, that's that. They did say that, and I wanted to make sure that was there. Okay. So that is that's that for as far as the Indianapolis stuff goes. Let me get this here. Let me get this shut down. And before I go back to the starred comments, I know that I had her star a couple comments. Before I go back to that, I want to go back. I know that. Let me go all the way back to the beginning, because I know that. Okay, let me see what these were here. Okay, I see that. No countywide EMS. The golf course is totally overgrown. Basically, the whole town is overgrown. I have heard that there's some really shitty things going on in Hartford City there, Pamela. Okay. The next thing that I do want to, I guess what we'll do is, Tweetybird says, I have a question. Do you like the optics of a military parade like North Korea and Soviet Union? This is a tough question, Tweety Bird, and I don't think you're going to like my answer. Of course. I don't know that fans in this room. I don't know that I specifically have a problem. What do they call that, Kate? You know what it's called? Not. I'm thinking of something else. A
review.
Yeah, a review. Yeah.
Take a minute.
Yeah, a review. Yeah, I was gonna say painting the colors, but I don't know if that's right. What is that?
What? The colors?
Yeah.
You can
That's just
present
the
the colors. You can twirl the colors. You can.
What does that mean, though?
Paste the colors. The colors of the flags, dear.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought that was. That was just like a flag march.
So, like when a unit's getting ready to deploy, they'll case their colors.
Yeah.
To pack them up to get over there, and then they'll unfurl them. And put them out.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a review.
A review, yeah.
And those happen annually, like on a military base, where everybody will do their little thing, and they'll go out and they'll march out to the parade field, and the general stands out there and looks out over his men. And
it happens. It happens here. We just don't know it because it's not like it doesn't happen. Like they don't do it down Washington. They did it here a while back. I thought in DC.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's kind of SOP, and it's it's just it's nice for the guys, the soldiers, to go out and be in front of the general and looking all hoity-toity, and it's their chance to show off too.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
just
yeah,
as much
right.
as it is for the
it's
guy
like pageantry.
That, and it never fails to devolve into some kind of pissing match between 3rd Brigade and 1st Brigade.
Yeah.
Who can look better, who can make sure none of their guys fall out.
Yeah.
Who has more battle streamers on their guidon?
It's not the same, and it. I don't know what you're asking, Tweety Bird. What are you asking? Do I like it? So the other thing that you're saying, when you're saying it's not the same,
Donald Trump is a fascist. So this is him being Hitler with the guys goose stepping.
Yeah.
That's what she's suggesting, and you bloody well know
it. Or absolutely. Yeah, right. Well, so here's the thing. I knew Kate was going to leave my head big. So here's the thing. You're talking about pointing the missiles up on the trucks and riding them by, and the biggest issue is the goose stepping and all of that. We don't do all of that. Our military doesn't march scary. Now, you want me to be honest? You want me to be really honest with you? She said yes to everything you just said, Kate. You want me to be honest with you? Yeah, I wish that our military goose stepped a little scary, maybe compared to the other people that we need to go kill if we ever need to go kill them. But okay, all right, maybe not. Whatever. Anyways, the bottom line is, we don't do that the same way. Yeah, we don't do that, so it doesn't really matter. We don't do that. So whatever. I'm I don't know, I think they ought to do it on the 4th of July. That would be cool. But now we can't like the 4th of July anymore, and blah 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 blah, whatever. So okay, that's fine. Always she was being facetious, Tweety, and saying, does 45 million speak to me? Hell yes. Show me the money. Who does 45 million not speak to? What? I don't even know what that's going to do with anything, but yeah, it speaks to me. Let me tell you, less than that speaks to me, and more than that speaks to me. 1 million speaks to me. 500,000 speaks to me. What? Yes. Anyways, so yeah, that's no, you weren't being rude. Does $45 million bother me? No, it doesn't. I like you're this is what you're doing, Tweety Bird. Do you like to feed somebody a peanut butter jelly sandwich? And you're like, yeah, I like to do that. And I'm like, before you kill them? You're like asking me like a question. You're like, do you like when it rains and you're standing outside naked in it? Like, come on. Who here likes money? All right. So, okay. Moving, not equal. I don't. You listen, you got to start saying things in longer sentences. It's okay to type. I think YouTube gives you 160 characters. Type lots of sentences together so it's easier to understand the points that you're making. Are we doing that? Are we having a parade? Have I missed that? Are we doing a parade somewhere? Let's look. Military parade marches into political maelstrom as troops deploy to L.A. And no, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't like the optics of seeing military tanks rolling through American cities. No, I don't like that one bit. I wish that was not, I don't like this. I wish this was not happening. I will tell you that 1000%. So that's that. For the Army's 250th birthday. Now, that's a little bit different. While tanks, armored troop carriers, and artillery systems pour into Washington for the Army's 250th birthday celebration, National Guard troops from the Army's 79th Infantry Brigade, combat teams supplemented by active duty Marines, have been deployed to the streets of Los Angeles. So, okay, so this is not the same thing. So they weren't parading into LA. They were doing a parade for the Army's birthday. Oh, yeah, I got no problem with that. No problem with it. Next. Okay. Now, real quick, the other starred thing here that we've got. Oh, I see it, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it right now. Really quickly. So, does everybody remember the post? We're gonna kick. This is gonna be all over the place. Just bear with me. Does everybody remember the post from a couple days ago? I talked about it. I posted it on social media, and literally people lost their minds. You would have thought, I don't know. You would have thought they caught me doing a Hail Hitler or something. This is me asking a question about Sproles, and it was a very serious question that I asked. It was a stupid thing, but a serious question for a serious reason, and I will explain here in a moment. So, after we got off the show Sunday, at whatever time the show ended, whatever time the show ended Sunday, when I got off the show, I made a post on social media that maybe we talked about. I don't know if we even talked about it. Well, we're going to talk about it here right now. Let me show you this. So I made this post. Here is a picture of, this is such a wonderful picture. This is His Majesty, the Sheriff, John Sproles, the Queen. And here he is in his crown, and he's pointing, and he's in his full, he's getting ready to do a military parade down the streets of Newcastle. And this guy is scary. And very tight pants. Him and Kance shop at the same store. And Eric, it might have been some kind of weird. That was weird. It might have been some kind of YouTube thing. So the post I made along with this, I thought it was nice. It looks nice. It's him doing his Sproul things. So I said, did Sheriff John M. Sproles of Henry County, Indiana, really deputize a citizen unexpectedly on the side of the road 2 weeks ago, just before the Newcastle Henry County 2025 Memorial Day Parade, so that the deputized citizen could drive the sheriff's county-owned police car in the parade with the lights and sirens on? For the sole purpose of letting Sheriff GQ Johnny walk in the parade, strutting his stuff, and being seen like the queen he is, instead of just driving the car? This didn't really happen, did it? Did it? Did this really happen? Someone, anyone, what's the deal? Better yet, does anyone know who drove the car? Can anyone tell me? Reach out to me and I'll keep your name confidential. All right, so here's what I heard. On the day of the Newcastle Memorial Day Parade, Johnny here, GQ Johnny, and his sheriff's department deputies were all going to parade their cars there. Now, I'm hearing that, and I don't know if Newcastle was ahead of them or not. One story I heard, Newcastle was ahead of them, and that's why they were upset. But I haven't figured that out for my own yet, so I'm not specifically saying that. But that he was going to drive his car. And then all of a sudden he decides, no, I want to walk. I want to be seen. I'm the commander around here. So he deputizes somebody like this is a scene out of The Rifleman or something. Like he's Marshal Matt Dillon deputizing somebody to go, go help him hunt down somebody that just hurt Festus or whatever. So he just grabs some Tom, Dick, or Harry off the street and literally puts his hand up and deputizes the man on the side of the road like it's the 1800s. Like that stuff does not happen in real world today policing, man. It's insane. So someone told me that this happened, and I was like, there's no way that this happened. There is no way that this happened. Yeah, Catherine, you're going to have to go back to the beginning of the show and watch this at some point. Go back and watch it from the beginning. Anyways, so oh no. I don't know if I have a way to get it. Hold on. Let me see. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, good. I then had a couple of pictures. And I want to show you these pictures. Here's a picture. Okay. Now it's a little fuzzy. It's a little hard to see. It's not like the best. Okay. But it's a little washed out. We see a sheriff's guy right here. This is a sheriff's man right here. Sheriff. We see this. You might not be able to tell, but this right here on the right hand of the screen, this is Johnny Sproles. This is Citizen Nobody. All right? Citizen Bob. Wearing like jeans, dark jeans, and a red and white shirt. Okay? Well, then this happens. This. We now see this sheriff's deputy right here, and we see Sproles right here with his hand raised, and we see Citizen Bob also with his hand raised. Oh, what's this? What is this about now? Now, see that shirt? Here's this shirt. Anybody out there know who this man is? Well, that might be the thing. People's like, no, Bilbrey, you're an asshole. He's not really deputizing him. He's really just waving, or they're playing patty cake or something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring your attention to this. This is a video made by an auditor from Newcastle, a First Amendment auditor. And I'm going to be really frank with you, okay? Will you allow me to be frank? Frank Bilbrey? I'm not really a fan of a lot of auditors, because I feel like a lot of auditors just are not. They make more problems than they actually do good if you don't truly know what you're. Whatever. Yeah, I love it, Kate. All right. But what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm going to show you, all right? And now, listen, there's all kinds of weird things going on right here, all right? This guy gets a lot of stuff. Here we go. He does sound like a character from Super Troopers. He does. Okay? Now, language warning, everyone. This is not my video. Someone else's video. Just bear with me.
I have a deeper voice, and it does carry.
Yeah.
You know?
More harsher voice, yeah.
Right.
I get it.
But
hey, Rick, I gotta whip this dog ready because we're gonna be.
All right,
Davis.
I'll actually shake your hand. You are one of the ones I actually do like. Just do me a favor. If you see me out or whatever like that, and you happen to be one of the ones that these guys are not exactly quite sure, just announce out loud, "It's me, Davis." You know what I mean? So I don't cuss you.
I got you, Rick.
All right, I appreciate you.
What? That's right, Stumblefoot. Honestly, there are a couple auditors that are very good, and I'll watch their content and I support their content. And there are a couple of them that are just downright idiots.
When are you going to be at your office?
So, all right. So what we got here is they're in the middle of a parade. This parade's getting ready to happen. I don't know how many years this parade's happened. It always happens. It's Memorial Day. And so you've got this guy who's like, when are you going to be at your office? That's not a question I would ask Sproles right now. Call him on Monday. I don't like Sproles. Sproles is a complete knob. But that's ludicrous, because what's going to happen? I've not even watched all of this, but this guy's going to get mad at Sproles for not answering. Well, Sproles just walked away from me. Well, yeah, he's an idiot, but he's in the middle of doing something.
I need to know when you're going to be at your office. I need you to set an appointment with me.
Oh, we got some Sproles nipples. What's up with his nipples? I'm telling you, dude, this is a weird dude. Just get a little bit bigger clothing, Sproles. But, okay, I'm going to stand up for Sproles right now. I'm going to stand up for Sproles. This guy does not need to be asking Sproles right now when you're going to be at he's going to be at his office all next week, dude.
Okay, I set an appointment with you and you didn't come.
No, I came and your officers
set another one and won't have a meeting.
Your officers tried to arrest me for come out. It's not Ricky, it's Rick for the 100th million fucking time.
Ricky, roll out.
Is that an order there?
I just want you out of my space.
Oh, out of your space. Is that an order?
Listen. Here's the thing. You're in a public space, man. You're standing in a public street. You can be wherever you want to be. He doesn't have a right to order you out of everywhere. But I don't like people right up my butthole either. So, it's. Here's the thing. People lump me in with what's going on here because I call Sproles out for the stuff Sproles does. I don't ever go seek Sproles out on traffic stops or other places and just try to make him do something. I think there's a bit of a difference. Nothing's happening here. No one's rights are being violated. They're getting ready for a parade. Now, Sproles does something dumb here in a minute, and because the camera's around, we catch him doing something dumb, but it could have caught that from back at a distance. And matter of fact, it did. Just all of this following him around, and all he's doing is asking questions just for the reaction. That's all. That's all that's happening. And that to me is not, I don't know. I just can't do it. Yes, you're right, Tweety Bird. It is.
Ricky.
I'm asking, stop calling me Ricky. It's Rick.
Okay, Rick, listen. You make a total fool out of yourself.
I make a fool out of myself. I'm not the one fucking refusing to take fucking reports. I'm not the one who had me sit up here at the courthouse Friday night all day.
Okay. It sounds like maybe Rick has a legitimate complaint. Rick needs to go address this at a time that it does make sense. This does not make sense. This would be like going and knocking on Sproles' door at 3 o'clock in the morning and being like, hey, you're not taking my reports in the morning. There's nothing that we can do about this right now. Hey, David, I'm standing up for him, you dumbass. You can't even hear me standing up for him? You're so mentally deranged. You can't even hear me standing up for him? I'm standing up for your hero, buddy, and you can't even figure that out? You're too stupid to follow this channel. Why have we not figured that out yet? I can send you the coloring edition of the Political Spotlight in the mail if you would like it, but you can't follow along, bro. I am perfectly fine with Sproles, what he's doing here. I agree. This guy is in his face for no reason.
Day after the town marshal said that he called you and said that you said personally that you were coming.
Are you done?
I'm not the one that lets my deputies turn around and violate.
And here's the thing. Sproles is like, all right, get it out. Get your stuff out, and now I'm going to talk. But that's not what they want.
My Oprah and FOIA request rights. And no, I'm not done. And I can give two fucks what you got to say, other than when are you going to make an appointment for us to sit down?
Like I said.
So you can finally take the reports of the crimes, since none of your other officers want to do it for the past 3 years.
So, Rick, I have set an appointment with you, and you haven't.
Your officers tried to arrest me for coming up to try to talk to you and to do a FOIA request while I was there.
So here's what I said a little bit ago, and I'll say it again. Call the officer.
He don't give a fuck. If I was black, he'd shoot me.
That's what I'm talking about. You're making a fool out of yourself.
I'm not the one who shot a black man for kicking the door. Who harmed you? Nowhere. So what? It's First Amendment protected. You don't like it? Go flip burgers.
Yeah, okay. Well, set an appointment, and this time you try to show up.
Okay. And now he's laughing at him. Sproles, he asks Sproles, When will you make an appointment with me? Sproles says, call the office and make an appointment, show up. He answered him. He answered him, and Rick laughs at him. That's I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
This time I show up. How about you honor your oath and do your job? Do what the people pay you to do instead of.
Post. You know how many likes you average on your post?
I don't give a fuck. I don't do it for the likes and the clicks. Well, eventually, the right person's going to see the shit, and they're going to ruin your ass. Now,
here's the thing. I gotta be honest. Here's the issue. Sproles shouldn't be engaging at this point. That's the problem with these people. Sproles shouldn't be engaging. Sproles answered the question. And that's now I'm going to be on Rick's problem. Okay. Now Sproles is playing into it. And that's where Sproles is in the wrong. He shouldn't be playing into it.
I said, can't wait.
This goes on.
Go away, public servant.
Okay, so he's now telling him to go away. You're dismissed, even though then he'll follow him. Go away, you're dismissed, but I'm going to follow you and engage with you again. The message is confused. And I don't really know what the deal is with the Newcastle City Hall. Tweety Bird, I don't know what goes on up there. It's a public building. He should be able to go in. I haven't actually seen that content. I'll have to see it. I'll have to watch. I don't know. I can't answer that, unfortunately.
Thank you, sir. As I was.
That's actually pretty funny, Sproles. That's actually pretty funny.
But anyway.
And then he turns around and says, but anyway, as we were saying here, Trooper, and all right, let's listen to this conversation for a second.
Can I get somebody, maybe obviously not right this moment. I mean, I know you guys are busy, but is there a way I can get somebody to come see me tomorrow, maybe?
I just called the state police post.
Well, that's why I'm asking ahead of time.
That's
are you one of the sergeants?
Can I ask? It's just asking questions just to be asking questions. Can I get someone to come see me tomorrow? The guy answers him. Yes, call the state police post. Tell them you need a trooper. That's what they do. You call, they come.
Sergeants or what's that?
I'm a road sergeant, Sergeant Dave Whitinger.
I almost said Whittinger.
No, that's all right.
It's Whitinger?
Yes,
Whitinger? Okay.
Yes, sir. If you call over the
Whitinger.
police post,
I appreciate it. I'm Rick.
And you talk with either one of our investigators or our district commander.
All right. Well, because last time I did, they never sent anybody. That's why I'm asking, personal.
Okay. Well, that officer there, I don't know him. I don't know. Maybe he knows he can't answer for that. All he's doing is telling you to call. I don't know what else you can do here.
Like I said, I don't know what the situation was, sir. I'm just telling you.
Same thing. I've been trying to report, a guy who stole all my guns, construction tools, and different things like that.
That sounds like a pretty serious crime. If you have guns that have been stolen, I'm on Rick's side. That sounds like a pretty serious crime. If you have guns that have been stolen, here's the thing. And this is my advice to Rick if or when he listens to this. Wherever the crime was committed, if you live in the city of Newcastle and the guns were stolen from Newcastle, you don't need to talk to the sheriff's department. You don't need to talk to the state police. You need to talk to the Newcastle City Police Department. You have to report the crime where the crime was committed. And if you're stating, and you just stated it there on the camera, that you have guns and tools that were stolen, you need to deal with that at the police department in the jurisdiction where it happened. Okay? That's that. You need to make a report there. And then if you go and you literally call them and they come and you say, hey, I have 3 guns that were stolen and I've got 2 compression compressors and I've got a weed eater and I've got a chainsaw that was stolen, and they won't take a report, that's when you then move up the chain. I don't know. Maybe they won't. We need to figure that out, whatever. But you don't have them do it in the middle of a parade. These people are on a detail. These people are on the radio. They called in for Signal 30 Special Operations. They are on a detail. So these people are tied up. There are other police officers out roving around taking reports. You should be going and talking to one of them about this. Okay. But no, we can't say that we know why he's aggressive because we don't know. I don't know. This is just what he's claiming. I can't confirm or deny any of this. I don't know any of this is true. This is just what he's saying on a screen.
Also, these guys at the sheriff's department, they're deputies, driving around here, expired tags. Some of the vehicles, 2 years expired. I know those plates ain't exempt, but all these ones are exempt. You know what I mean? Your place should be exempt.
Yeah, we've got state police.
Right. And I got no problem with exempt tags, you know what I mean? Because it still has all your guys' information on it, you know what I mean? It shows that you guys are inspected, shows, I don't think Indiana does vehicle inspection.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think, I forgot the name of that, what do they call that? Ohio has it.
Well, and so this is probably what he needs to do. Last week, he was standing outside the door to City Hall, opening the door and yelling in for someone to come out and let him file a FOIA request. First of all, you don't file FOIA requests, and I know that's not you saying that, that's him. You don't file a FOIA request at City Hall. FOIA request is a Freedom of Information Act on a federal level. So what he needs to be doing is filing a record request per APRA, Indiana Access to Public Record Act. And he obviously has access to a phone and or a computer because he uploads to YouTube. This video is on YouTube. What he needs to do is he needs to go home and he needs to send in his record request to the clerk in the Newcastle City building via email. And that's as good as filling it. Matter of fact, it's actually better. It's actually better than filling it out in person, because then you've got a paper trail and it's there, and you've got timestamps and date stamps, and it's good. So if he's saying, well, they won't fill out my request, they won't let me do this, they won't let me do this. Okay, breathe, go home, send it in via email, and then boom, bang, pow. Now you've got them. Now you've submitted it, and let's see what happens. That would, we gotta start thinking. You got to beat these people. Think smarter, not harder. And what it seems like a lot of these auditors do is work that is harder, not smarter. Let's think smarter, not harder. Just being careful there. Okay, now Brenda gave us a little bit more information. That was the Justice Center, not City Hall. That makes it so much easier because I've not sent any. I've only sent one request into Newcastle, so that means he wants record request from county government. That's easy. Goes home or goes wherever out in the parking lot, and he sends an email to Joel Harvey, the county attorney. I do it all the time. Matter of fact, he's getting ready to send me my records over the email. That's how we do stuff. I don't ever have to see them. I send him an email, and there we go, ready to rock and roll. All right. Now, there's a point to all of this. I'm not just doing this, just shitting on this guy because we're getting to the point, but I'm just showing you a little bit what's going on and where this comes from. I had a set.
They come in, they check your exhaust for the smog and the windshields and your gas tank, and there's a certain name for it. I forgot.
It just feels like he's just.
First time I've been up here on one of these in years.
Yeah. All right, I got to go do some work.
But
anyway, the guy moves away from him. Kath. Yeah. Well, yes and no. I understand that. I guess I just let my rats come to me with the information. But yeah, the guy literally moves away from him, and what I'm saying is, in this situation, if he's out there, if he's there, and he's saying they won't wait on me, then there's an easier way for him to do it. That's what I'm getting at.
No, seriously, I have literally been trying to report crimes. You know, I know where there's, I mean, like hundreds, and I mean hundreds. When I say hundreds, I mean hundreds, probably if not thousands of dead farm animals, you know, from the same people. You know, I tried getting a hold of
that would be conservation, not state
Carlo
police.
Moore, supposed to be the head of the animal control for the sheriff's department. Okay. They refused to do anything because he's buddies with the guy. Bill Palmer, who was running for the coroner. I think it's one of the ones who actually ended up with a couple of my stolen.
At 44 minutes.
Depending on the situation, I was going to say where you at. So you could always take like an empty shell, throw it at somebody. Like, travels faster after dark. No.
Yeah, after 28 years, I
did that on my daughter's first date. I tossed a bullet and told him it travels faster after 9. I just looked at her, man. Honestly, I was cleaning my rifle. I had a 30-06 on my lap, and I was just cleaning it. She was getting ready and everything, and he kept talking to me, and I'm just ignoring him. I'm just doing what I got to do. And they get ready to walk out the door, and that's when I tossed that shell as they were getting ready to walk out the door. And I was like, remember, I said, these things fucking travel faster after fucking dark. You know, I turned around, I looked at her. I said, you know what time to be home, right? That's all I said. She said, yep. She said, love you, Daddy. Walked out the door. He had her home an hour early.
Yeah.
He did. He brought her home an hour early. I think it's funny.
It's a nice parade.
But I didn't mean to kind of get shitty with him the way I do. But you notice I just asked him, when, you know, straight out, when can we make an appointment? And he immediately cops an attitude, walks away, and gets shitty. That's the whole
10
thing.
10 minutes in, this guy's like, hey, all right. All right, I've got to get back to work, buddy. I got to go. At some point, he says it.
Well, gun to shoot you. Who gave these bitches permission? That's what I've seen some of them that are like pretty, even I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, you know, God got 10 laws, man got 100 million laws.
Here it goes.
It's stupid. Or so-called laws. That's why I said, look up Marbury versus Madison. Any and all laws not in line with the Constitution, null and void. I'm gonna have to go over here for a minute. I gotta go remind these fuckers about Glyph versus Cunniff. You have a great day.
So he ends the conversation. I've got to go over here and remind these people about some law. Why do they need reminded about it? What? Yes, Stumblefoot. All right, here we go. Okay, it's very hard to hear. Very hard to hear. He just, I'll turn on closed captions, see if it picks it up. I just heard him say something about the Constitution and you're a deputy for. All right, we're going to back it up. Okay, and we're going to listen to it right here. We just watched the swearing in right here. Sproles swearing him in right here. See if this works.
Hey, Brian.
We got.
Listen real carefully. I think you said something about, Rob, will you uphold the Constitution? You're a deputy for the, I don't know, parade, the remainder of the parade. So, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The information that was sent to me, that absolutely happened. And definitely a little unhinged, but I'm glad he was there. Glad it got filmed. And I guess the reason I'm showing this is because this guy's been sending these to me, and I feel like if I just say, yeah, you're doing a good job, this is wonderful, I'm lying to them. I really wish that we could, I'm not just being mean to this guy. People need to work smarter, not harder. We need to figure out a way to do this in a way that is actually accomplishing things. That's the thing that I was always mad about Josh about. Deputy for the day. Maybe that's true, because that sure as hell's not true. He shouldn't be a deputy for the day. All he's going to do is drive the car a couple of blocks, which here's the thing for everybody saying, well, this is not a big deal. Someone literally jumped on the thing and said, well, you mean a tax-paying citizen can't drive one of our own cars? No. It's got guns inside there. He has access to the Sproles computer that has confidential information on it. More importantly, take all that stuff out. The Henry County Sheriff's Department is a massive insurance liability. Putting somebody behind the vehicle to drive in a parade, and a parade, everyone says, well, that's nothing. It's just a parade. That's easy. It's not like he's letting him drive a car during a high-speed pursuit. Look, driving a car out on the open roads, not hard. Do you know how many officers are killed during funeral processions and how many officers are killed during parades? Because there are crashes and stupid stuff that happen. And to think now it didn't happen. I know it didn't happen, but we're talking about it because it could have been. And this just shows Sproles' level of thinking. You mean he couldn't have called a reserve in for this? He couldn't have called one of his jailers in for this? This just shows you the nonsense. And like I said, this is exactly why Indiana doesn't allow for anyone to just be deputized, even in like an emergency situation, like in this situation. Now, you can do things where we talked about this the other day. You can give an honorary sheriff's deputy badge, or you can do a special deputy thing, but there's a little bit more to that. That's the other thing. Has the driver's license been ran? Do we know if he's got a driver's license? Is he a felon? Probably not. It's probably somebody, that he knows or whatever. But the question is, why is it happening? You mean there's not any other sheriff's deputy that you do? Why would Sproles not have sworn in his wife and had his wife do this? Or thinking about things like, even if you're going to do something stupid, like do it closer to home. Like, I just, I guess I just totally don't understand it. But I wanted to show that because that has been sent. We have that. We don't have a name. I'm looking for a name on the individual and trying to figure out what's going on. There are a lot of other deputies there. Surely one of them could drive the damn car. Well, yeah, and I don't know if they're all driving their other cars or whatever. A couple of them look like they were on 4x4s and things like that. It just seems like there should have been a much easier way to accomplish what they were trying to accomplish there than, it's really, really crazy than him just standing around and swearing in somebody on the side of the road. Pretty wild. Honestly, it's like, maybe we need to seriously consider what this guy is doing, because I don't think that he has the ability to properly think things through clearly, and that's a scary thing. Like this, it was just having a guy drive a car, but this guy also has a badge and a gun and can take your liberty and can take your life. And so I just don't like the fact that he's in those positions, knowing that something seems a little loose up here. Maybe he's the jail janitor. I feel Alpha. I feel like had he been the jail janitor, that would have been a known entity, and we would have known that. They had 13 cars in the parade. Newcastle PD had 3. So yeah, maybe they could have backed one of their cars off. Is it over, Jackie? Is that the final score? He was cleaning the car for the parade. That's true. That is true. Give me a second here. I'm looking for, before we move off Sproles, I got one more thing to tell you about before we move off Sproles. What is the name? What is end of the third quarter? Okay, you scared me. So they've still got time. They can pull it out. I don't even know why I care about this. I normally don't care about. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Wow, I forgot about that red background. 105. 105. Around her. I don't know who this person is, but I know that he does everything that he's griped about. Just FYI. So just FYI, he does everything he's griping about.
Crystal clear. And I have never, what have I done to them? And it's not about the amount of money that these suits have already cost the county. Because
is this the interview you're talking about?
$200,000. Correct. And so what I want to make very clear is there has been no judgments against me. None. There has been no
well, wait a minute.
Judgments against me. No claims paid out. These will all.
Well, there have definitely been claims paid out now.
See their day in court, and so we'll see. And like I said, I'm not nervous about any of them. I am an open book.
Yes,
I am not nervous about. I hate it because I'll tell you, I watched my other friends, sheriffs, go about doing sheriff business. Correct. And so what I want to make very clear is there has been no judgments against me. None. There has been no judgments against me. No claims paid out. These will all see their day in court. And so we'll see. And like I said, I'm not nervous about any of them. I am an open book.
Yes,
I am not nervous about. I hate it because I'll tell you, I watched my other friends, sheriffs, go about doing sheriff business. And,
you don't have
and it seems like they have. They're like, man, Sproles, you got the heat on you. I don't. I mean,
nobody says that to him.
How you run the department or how you have responded to scenes.
That last comment was only a fabricated assumption. Yeah, dude. So I just want to be very clear about this. That I want to know. I cannot wait to ask him how he believes everything's turned out since he made this interview. When was this interview? May 24th, 2024. So just a little over a full year ago is when he made this statement. And so I think that's very interesting. So Unfortunately for the sheriff there, things aren't working out like he thought they would. Okay. The very last thing we can do before we roll, I want to run through the Board of Works meeting today. There is a 7-minute Muncie Board of Works meeting. I want to run through this and let you guys see this, and then I have something just briefly to say about the city of Muncie, to say something that I heard this evening, reference the city of Muncie, and I want to we'll end on that. So here is the 7-minute Board of Works meeting. Oh, I'm going to, Alva. You better believe it. He is definitely going to get a copy of it. Badges for sale or rent. Sells to let 50 cents. No phone, no pools, no pets, but a car to the drive-in parade. I love it. Good, good, good. Oh, I was like, wait a minute. Why? You can't hear it. I can't hear it. No one can hear it. What's happening?
God, indivisible, with liberty.
They can't all three be there at the same time. I mean, it's so weird.
We have roll call, please.
Ted Baker.
Present.
Lola Maurer. Linda Baker.
Present.
Well, it's out of town. She'll be here. I think she'll be back next week. We've been given the minutes from the June 6th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
I move approval of the minutes from last week.
And I would second it. Do we have any comments or questions? Linda, doesn't Lacey do a great job?
She does.
She does a great job. We appreciate her so much. People don't realize how much effort it takes and such for the public record, and you do it very good. So thank you. Okay, having done, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Thank you very much. Craig Wright, Register of Claims.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Craig.
Sent out claims yesterday afternoon, and just wanted to really kind of light on this with nothing huge. Our usual page 3, the Indiana Michigan Power for traffic signals and street lights was $41,023.33.
You mean the city has to pay for electricity? Yeah, I'm just kidding. People have asked me that, so yes, we do.
It's not free. And with our usual utilities and just like loan payments for police vehicles, et cetera.
Okay, we're gonna hold on just a minute. We got a mic problem. It's on. It's on. Yeah.
Always, every single one of them.
Okay. Okay, Craig.
Okay. With that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Okay, Linda, do you have any
I
questions?
have none.
I do not. Another good job. Thanks to the city department heads and the
Yes.
different people who.
Yes,
fill these out.
Freebird.
It just takes money to operate a city on a week-to-week basis. Yeah. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move approval of the claims as presented for $590,285.
Okay, and I would
Okay.
second it. Do we have any
Kind of a
comments or
light week.
questions? Okay, having none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Craig, thank you for a great job.
Thank you.
We are going to continue to table the business on the street closure for
Okay.
for
Is
everlasting. We'll see what happens here. We got a little bit of time. And then we also have an order of business for noise exemption for Colonial Crest Apartments. If they could come up, please.
Oh God.
Okay,
My name's Laura. I'm the regional manager.
okay, great. And what is the request that you're going to have? And let's just wait one moment while Mark might want to trade microphones here, just to be sure.
Right, Brenda. Right, you're absolutely right.
There you go. Okay, if you could start over again, your names, please.
I'm Tyler Parson. I'm the property manager at Colonial Crest Apartments.
I'm Laura Sturzenegger. I'm the regional manager at Colonial Crest.
Okay, great. And the reason for your request?
So we are looking to have Community Day, which is, so we're asking for the noise exemption so that we can have a live band as well as PA announcements, that type of thing. We've done it last year. Last year we had about 100 people. This year we're adding a car show to it.
I don't understand.
So looking for probably, hopefully close to 200 people.
And this is within the confines of
Colonial Crest. Yes, within the Colonial Crest community. Okay. We do allow, and hope to have outside people from Yorktown and Muncie to come and enjoy the day with us as well. Okay. There is no alcohol. I know that was a question asked last year.
Always.
I talked to police chief yesterday. He let me know that there's several things going on in the Muncie area. There's no fireworks, no alcohol. Should be hopefully a relatively fun and enjoyable, non-eventful day.
Good. Fun.
Yes, fun being the big word there.
Okay.
Well, one of the reasons I ask about alcohol presence is so that the event organizers think about contingency plans if it shows up.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do? What do you have in place? Do you have security?
Right.
Because we've had events that didn't have such pleasant outcomes.
Correct.
Because they didn't anticipate what might
Right.
happen. So I just do that so that people are aware of their responsibilities as hosts.
Absolutely. And we do have about 14 to 16 volunteers that will be monitoring everything all day long.
Sounds
Yeah,
like you're
right.
Your reputation precedes
I
you.
know.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I move approval of the noise exemption for Colonial Crest.
And I will second it. Thank you for putting these on. I mean, these are what makes communities great. And it brings back memories because a long time ago, I lived in apartment 8 and apartment 12. So not the same time, but
And that's the whole reason why I do this. I started it last year, and it's to build the sense of community back.
Yeah.
There's so many places that don't do that. I like the sense of the community and stuff, and that's why I want to go through.
Thank you very much. We have a motion and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. Okay, motion carried. That's as simple as it is. We'll be right with you.
Yep.
Do we have any other orders of business? This is a very light meeting.
Mhm.
How about that? Even with technical interruptions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so having no other business, this meeting is adjourned.
Great. All right. Well, my last thing that I need to say about the city of Muncie is I heard today that the HR department, riveting. The HR department, after 35 years of service, Patty, fired Alvin Jones. And he's got 35 years of service. Alvin Jones worked under 35 years. He worked under many different mayors and administrations, worked for different HR bosses and department heads. And, he wasn't the fastest employee, wasn't, there, but he was there and he got work done. I think it's going to be interesting because Alva had some Alvin, not Alva, not our Alvin Jones. The man had some health issues, which I'm pretty sure put him in protected class. And it's going to be interesting to see if they followed the proper steps. I know that Alvin was just recently off on FMLA, and I know that there's some scuttlebutt that I'm hearing from sources that say that they think that the city kind of screwed with him during his FMLA. And if that's the case, that is a serious problem. So I'm going to be looking into this. I just got this information a little bit before going live, and I definitely want to talk about it. Just shocking that he's worked there for 35 years. Normally you don't think of someone who's worked someplace 35 years getting fired. And I'm hearing that they said that he was fired because they didn't like the way he multitasked. Or he didn't multitask well enough for them or something. And this is a man who is in a wheelchair. He is in a wheelchair. He has some other physical ailments and physical, I hate saying disabilities, but he has some physical disabilities. And so I hope they cross their T's and dotted their I's is all I got to say. So I hate to hear that. Alvin always did right by me, and that was that. So, all right. We made it through. There wasn't anything to talk about, but look, we still went for an hour and 45 minutes. So, thank you all. Sorry for it being kind of a weird show, but we got through it. We have some information we're just waiting on some information to kind of fall into our laps. There's some things I'm working on, some stuff that we've had deep in the pocket that hopefully we should be talking about soon, and a couple of other things. So just kind of hang in there with us. We'll get to it. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Didn't the city just give out employee appreciation on Facebook posts? I think they did. And I don't know. I'm going to find out, Kate, about his pension. I'm going to reach out and talk to a couple people. I'll have to find that out. I don't know. That would really be horrible. I don't think so. Maybe Brenda Grider knows. She worked as a clerk, was the elected clerk rather, for a city government. So maybe she knows, but thank you guys. Hit the like button. And we will see you back here tomorrow night, Thursday night. I am hoping we'll have some email tomorrow. If we don't, we might have to go live like on a Friday because we did miss one day this week. So I'll keep you guys posted. You guys take care. We'll see you back here tomorrow. God bless each and every one of you. And hit the like before you leave. We will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.